Hi guys, today let's do some nice improvements to my main Venom60he keyboard. Currently it has been sitting on the Freebird 60 case, which is an okay case, but I really wanted a case that is not tray mounted, has a centered USB port and doesn't cost a ton. The case that I've been wanting to get most was the Geonworks Frog Mini Leggera G version, and I waited ages for a restock. Luckily I found one from Taobao that I bought through SuperBuy for around 70 bucks, but these should restock soonish to the Geonworks international web store as well. The one I have here is the cream colored version, and oh my god, it is just perfect. It also perfectly matches my JC Studios Hangul Beige keycaps to create a really nice classic look. I also love the look of the back accent piece that is made from forged carbon fiber. You can get an additional copper weight plate to replace the stock one, but I found the case weight to be perfect from the get-go, so I didn't get one. The case comes in a nice carrying case with the needed accessories for the case swap, a screwdriver, screws, rubber feet, silicone O-ring for mounting, and a tool to easily remove the module from the case when needed. And of course there is a daughter port and a JST cable included to make the center USB port possible. To prep the keyboard module for this case, you should remove the daughter port from the PCB, which I already had done, plus you need to remove the old USB port. You can snap it off with some pliers, but I found it easier to trim the seam a bit with some cutters or an X-Acto knife to make the snipping a bit easier. It should come off clean quite easily. Then we need to install the switches so the O-ring doesn't slide inside the module. For this build I got some new Maxgaming Gateron collab switches, the Jade Sapphires. Specs wise these are pretty much identical to the Jade Rubies, so initial force is 36 gram force, spring length is 20 millimeters, and the sound profile is very thocky. The only differences between the Jade Rubies and the Sapphires are some material choices. Of course, these are blue instead of red, but also the bottom housing is made from transparent plastic instead of a solid one that I think alters the typing sound a tiny bit. It has a slightly more clack than the Rubies, but they are very similar. Quite an expensive switch at around €1 per switch, but they are surely fantastic quality. One thing Gateron switches have over the cheaper, really good alternatives like GeonRAW HEs and Alu TI-HEs is that I found removing them easier and they do not break as easily when removed. It might be that the Gaterons have slightly better tolerances or the shell structure is a bit more rigid. It is very situational if this holds any value to you. I imagine most of you don't build a keyboard with constantly swapping switches in mind, so choose the switches based on your budget. Okay, after the switches have been installed, let's put on the O-ring. Usually O-ring mount means that you cannot use plate mounted stabs, but in this case the O-ring has been accounted for and there are slots where the interference normally happens on the case, so the PCB module slides very easily to the case with the O-ring. To prep the case we still need to install the daughter board, so first push the JST cable to the daughter board connector and then screw the daughter board in with two of the included small screws. To make installing the module to the case even easier, Geonworks recommends to put a slight amount of lube to the O-ring before pushing the module in. Then just put in the case foam if you want, route the JST cable through it and push it to the connector on the PCB. Then just push the module starting from the spacebar side to the case and it slides in very nicely. Then what is left is just installing the rubber feet and putting on some keycaps. Here is a sound test of the finished build. So yeah, overall the Frog Mini Leggera case is fantastic. The sound is very uniform across the case and the O-ring mount provides a nice, slightly soft typing feel. So I am very happy with the build I have now. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one. Goodbye.